The 2024 Oscar night entered history as one of the most controversial moments in the film industry. Mikey Madison, a hitherto unknown actress of the general public, took the stage to receive the Best Actress award for her performance in Shadows, a low-budget drama that barely raised $40 million at the box office. The film, directed by a newcomer and with predictable script, had a warm critical reception, 62% at Rotten Tomatoes, with reviews highlighting the proper but forgettable performance of Madison. Meanwhile, in the Shadows, another movie, The Substance, was erased from collective memory. The Substance, directed by independent filmmaker Clara Voss, was cheered in Sundance and the Cannes Festival. With 97% critical approval, the film plunged into a real scandal, the obscure relationship between large studios and pharmaceutical corporations. In shocking scenes, the film revealed how medicines were inserted subliminarily in blockbusters, a character in Spider-Man 4, taking a fictitious antidepressant sponsored by a real brand, a scene in Fast and Furious 12, where a muscle mass gain supplement was displayed as Salvador of the protagonist. Leaked documentaries proved that this practice had existed since the 1990s, with studios receiving millions to promote medicines. The gym, however, not only ignored The Substance, excluded it from all categories. No indication, no mention, no speech. Meanwhile, Mikey Madison, whose only relevant job before Between Shadows was a supporting role in City of Dreams, 2022, became the surprise of the night. The question that echoed on social networks was, why Mikey? The answer is in the gym financiers. Companies like Pharmax and Vitacorp, both nominally cited in The Substance as involved in lobbying schemes, have been among the largest sponsors of the Oscar ceremony for decades. Leaked financial reports show that by 2023, Pharmax contributed $8 million to the gym, while Vitacorp donated $5 million. It is no coincidence that months before the awards, executives of these companies have met with key members of the Academy in confidential dinners in Beverly Hills. But how does Mikey Madison fit in that? Her movie, Between Shadows, had a curious detail. Her protagonist was an heroic doctor who saved patients with an experimental drug from Pharmax. The name of the medicine was changed in the movie, but the chemical formula shown on the scene corresponded to a real product, something that was only discovered by chemistry fans in online forums. While Substance denounced this practice, Between Shadows, it normalized. Madison's victory, therefore, was not about talent. It was about narrative control. The gym, pressured by its sponsors, needed to bury The Substance and reward those who collaborated with the system. The Madison Award cost $25 million in lobby campaigns, dinners for voters, luxurious trips, even donations to charities linked to Academy members. Meanwhile, Clara Voss, director of The Substance, has received anonymous threats to abandon the project or face consequences. Madison's speech at the Oscar was as generic as his performance. She thanked the gym, the cast, and said the prize was a dream. No mention of The Substance, bro. No recognition to the elephant in the room. Meanwhile, on the networks, hashtags like #Corrupto and Delay Substance viralized. An ex-user summed up, Mikey Madison did not win by acting, won by obeying. The Substance was not just a movie, it was a time bomb about to expose one of Hollywood's dirtiest secrets, the sale of narrative influence on pharmaceutical corporations. The script, based on over 500 leaked emails and clandestine recordings, detailed as studios such as Global Pictures and Star Horizon received millions to insert real medicines into movie plots. In a cutscene of Spider-Man 4, For example, Peter Parker is seen taking a tablet to control anxiety during a heroic crisis. The remedy, fictitious in the film, was an almost identical copy of Vitacalm, an antidepressant from Pharmax. The scene was modified after internal protests, but documents show that Pharmax paid $15 million to the studio for the insertion. Director Clara Voss was not content to report only old cases. She revealed that by 2023, Star Horizon signed a $200 million contract with Vitacorp to promote its new vitamin supplement in Fast and Furious 12. In return, the villain of the film would use the product as part of an evil plan, an absurd metaphor to link health to wickedness. Worse, in audience tests, spectators reported wanting to try the vitamins after watching the movie. The industry was not selling entertainment. I was selling chemical dependence with popcorn. When The Substance arrived in Sundance in January 2024, Hollywood executives panicked. Pharmax threatened to process Clara Voss for corporate defamation, even if no real name was quoted. The strategy? Scare festivals. The Cannes Film Festival, which initially accepted the film for competition, removed it from the program 2 weeks before the premiere. The official reason? Technical problems. The real reason? A leaked email showed the president of the festival writing, "We cannot risk our deal with Global Pictures." But Clara Voss didn't go back. She released the movie regardless of digital platforms, where he quickly went viral. In 48 hours, The Substance was assisted by 12 million people, a record for an independent documentary. The reaction was immediate. Health forums discussed the dangers of medicalization in films, and NGOs demanded investigations into the relationship between studios and pharmaceuticals. That's when the gym came into play. 2 days before Oscar nominations, The Substance disappeared from the main platforms. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV have removed it on the grounds of copyright violations. Clara Voss said publicly, "There is no violation. They are censoring the truth." In the meantime, Between Shadows, Mikey Madison's forgettable movie began to appear on Oscar favorite lists in magazines like Variety and Hollywood Reporter. Coincidence? Difficultly. The campaign to bury The Substance was orchestrated behind the scenes. Academy members received an unofficial voting guide obtained by hackers who listed Between Shadows, such as a headlight for women in medicine. The document, allegedly written by a Pharmax PR consultancy, instructed voters to avoid negative distractions, a clear reference to Clara Voss's film. Meanwhile, Mikey Madison, hitherto irrelevant, began to appear on covers of magazines and talk shows. Her interview at Ellen Show was particularly revealing. When asked about The Substance, she replied, "I have never heard. I'm focused on telling stories that inspire." A video comparing scenes of Between Shadows with Pharmax advertisements has reached 10 million views. In it, Madison repeated phrases like "trust science" and "does remedies save lives?" Dialogues almost identical to those used in company commercials. Pharmax denied involvement, but an anonymous former employee confirmed she was instructed to promote a pro-science image was part of the contract. The apex of the farce came on the night of the Oscar. While Mikey Madison held her statuette, Clara Voss was in a coffee in Berlin, watching the transmission with a bitter smile. In a live on YouTube, she stated, "Hollywood is not afraid of bad movies. Are you afraid of real movies? Your next project, a documentary about how the Academy sabotaged The Substance." Mikey Madison's victory was not a chance. It was a militarily planned operation. Behind the scenes, a $25 million scheme financed by studios and pharmaceuticals ensured that Between Shadows was catapulted to the status of cult movie of the season, while The Substance was erased. It all started 6 months before the ceremony, when the Madison team hired Silver Lobby, a consultancy specializing in buying Oscars. The first step was inflate the critical relevance of the movie. Influential critics received luxurious packages with copies of Between Shadows, accompanied by checks of $50,000 for enthusiastic reviews. A leaked email from Silver Lobby Instruia highlight the monologue scene in the hospital as the most moving performance since Meryl Streep in Sophie's Dilemma. In 2 weeks, Rotten Tomatoes from Shadows jumped from 62% to 89%. The second step was corrupt Academy voters. Members received personalized experience packages. Veteran directors have gained trips to resorts in the Maldives with private sessions to discuss Between Shadows. Retired actors received donations to their charities, provided they mentioned Madison in interviews. Journalists were presented with exclusive access to blockbusters if they promoted the movie. A member of the gym who ordered anonymity confessed, "I received an envelope with $200,000 in cryptocurrencies and a ticket, vote in Madison." In the meantime, Clara Voss was sabotaged. Your email was hacked and drafts of Out of the Substance leaked to piracy websites. Worse, during a screening of the film in New York, police interrupted the session on the grounds of terrorist activity. Nothing was found, but the damage was done. The press called The Substance the dangerous conspiracy theories. The final strategy was transform Mikey Madison into a martyr. Her team has released a narrative of underdog, an unknown actress fighting a macho system. In a counterfeit documentary, Mikey's Journey, she cried when she said that she almost gave up her career after being rejected in 200 auditions. The reality? Madison was a niece of the CEO of Global Pictures. His first role was in a Pharmax commercial at age 16, precisely promoting Vitacalm. On Indications Day, the plan reached the apex. Between Shadows received 4 nominations, including Best Actress. The Substance, 0. In the nets, paid bots flooded hashtag with messages like, "Madison is the voice of a new generation," and "enough of negativist movies." When asked about the exclusion of Clara Voss, the Academy issued a generic statement: "We celebrate all the voices of cinema." The 2024 Oscars recorded the worst audience in its history. Only 12.3 million viewers in the US, a 60% collapse since 2020. Panic Academy needed a manufactured scandal to generate engagement, and Mikey Madison was the perfect bait. The strategy? Create a controversial control to hide the true crisis. Hollywood is bankrupt, and the public no longer cares. The fall began in 2022 with the slap of Will Smith. At the time, the hearing rose 35%, proof that controversy sells. The lesson was clear. We need more drama, less art. In 2024, with sponsors like Coca-Cola and Rolex abandoning the ceremony, the gym bet on a desperate play. A hollow internal email revealed, "If we do not have a viral moment, the Oscar will die in 2025. Mikey Madison was chosen for being inexperienced enough to be manipulable. Her contract with Global Pictures included a secret clause. The actress will cooperate with risk marketing narratives, including association with ethical controversies. Translation: she would be the scapegoat of a fraudulent prize in exchange for instant fame. The play worked, partially. During its victory, Twitter recorded 2.3 million tweets in 1 hour, 80% critical. Hashtags like No Fraude Nuskar and Wo Madison Lixo have become trending topics. For the gym, no matter if it was hatred or love, engagement is engagement. as an anonymous executive said. But the plan failed to save the finances. After the ceremony, shares of the Global Pictures fell 12% and Pharmax faced a global boycott. Worse, Oscar's audience fell 8% compared to 2023. The shot came out for the Culatro and Mikey Madison became the face of failure. The Oscar is dead. The question is, who will kill you for good? The answer is in our hands. While the Academy prioritizes lobbies, manufactured controversies and forgotten movies, the real cinema has migrated to the banks, and that's where we should support. Platforms like MUBI, Festival Scope, and even YouTube are full of works such as The Substance, which challenge the system. It is up to us spectators to finance directors like Clara Voss and Saud Boycott. Any movie associated with corrupt studios. The change begins with 3 simple actions. 1. Stop watching the Oscar. Each visualization gives legitimacy to a scam. In 2024, the broadcast had 12.3 million viewers. If it falls to less than 5 million by 2025, the gym will collapse financially. 2. Discover independent filmmakers. Movies like All Over the Place at the Same Time, 2023, started as projects rejected by studios. Platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo allow you to directly finance who deserves it. 3. Spread the truth. Share The Substance. In private networks, using shared torrents or drives, report suspicious campaigns such as Mikey Madison and create content exposing Hollywood rot. The industry fears something above all: collective consciousness. When Parasite, 2019. 1. South Korea proved that foreign films can humiliate Hollywood. When Everything Everywhere All at Once, 2023. 1. Showed that the public wants originality, not remakes. Now it's our turn to bury the current Oscar model. The future of cinema is not in Los Angeles, it's in your choices.